How's it going, everybody? It is I, Yllauziv. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Rene over here in the UU tier. So if you do enjoy these, make sure to hit that like button on the video, and the team I'm using is in the description down below if you do want to try it out. Made by Youthberry. It's a really old team that I had laying around. I also have the link to where he posted it on Smogon in the description as well if you want to check it out. It's a pretty interesting read how he explains it. He pretty much explains like he made it in 5 minutes, which is like how I make most of my teams too, which is pretty dope. And he used to have a Komodo on it, but Komodo's banned in UU, so I switched it for a Nidoqueen I had laying around in my box. And the Nidoqueen didn't have Stealth Rocks, so maybe you want to put Stealth Rocks on Nidoqueen, or you could use whatever you want in place of Nidoqueen, because it was supposed to be a Komodo, but like I said, Komodo's banned in UU now because it moved up to OU because of that Clangorous Soul Blaze mostly. So yeah, if you want to use Nidoqueen, just be wary that the Bisharp matchup is pretty scary. Nidoqueen does take a lot from Bisharp. It loses its Black Sludge recovery from knockoff. So yeah, you just gotta be careful of that. Maybe use a Pokemon that can deal with Bisharp a lot better. Maybe Crocodile could work. Crocodile's not bad in the tier. I just had Nidoqueen laying around, so I was like, okay, let's try out Nidoqueen. Too bad it didn't have rocks. It has T-Spikes though, with Earth Power, Ice Beam, and Sludge Wave. With Black Sludge. It's really defensive too. But yeah, anyways. We lead off with Scizor, they led off with Klefki. I felt like Scizor was an amazing lead versus them because it looks like they just have no switching to Scizor, and it just has all around just good matchup. And so far so good. I had Swords Dance all the way up to +6. They did paralyze me, and they did get some spikes up, and they also Dazzling Gleam me a few times. And there was a Focus Sash Klefki, which is interesting. So they brought in Zeraora. Zeraora could have Fire Punch. Best move to hit Scizor with. But at +6, it is going to go down to a critical hit to Bullet Punch. I don't know if the crit mattered. I mean, I'm +6. But yeah, that kind of is unfortunate if it does matter. But I don't know. Bullet Punch +6, Technician boosted as well. It's going to hurt. And Zeraora is not supposed to be like the most bulkiest Pokemon in the world. It's really fast, really offensive. So yeah. And now I got All Out Pummel on the Scizor. As Empoleon comes out, it is going to be faster than me. But Scizor is luckily enough to take on this defensive Empoleon. Most likely it's not offensive. That's good, because offense would really hurt a lot. And we blow it back with our all-out pummel. This is a pretty interesting Scizor set as well. Swords Dance, all-out pummel with superpower. It's a really nice set, actually. I like it a lot. And also, luckily, the Klefki did not have Foul Play as well. I gotta mention that, because sometimes Klefki could have Foul Play, and it would just blow back my Scizor once I get to +6. So luckily, I'm not getting full parrot as well, because then, you know, they'd have a shot to knock out my Scizor, but my max HP, max attack, adamant Scizor with a little bit of speed EVs is putting in that work, and they just sack all their Mons, Rene over here, and they could have just went into Mimikyu because Mimikyu has that beautiful, delicious, colorful red card. There it is. I don't know why they didn't just go into that, but hey, to each their own. Maybe they were just hoping for a paralyzed with Scizor. That's probably it. And they just wanted to keep Mimikyu in the back. But honestly, when you're staring down a +6 Scizor, you need to get rid of that ASAP. Rocky, okay? So, red carded me out into Altaria. I just stand to just go for it to turn. Just in case they want to Swords Dance again, I get some damage up on them. But it doesn't matter because I can just bring in my Scizor again and go for that nice Bullet Punch. But Spikes put me in range of +2 Shadow Sneak. Maybe. I don't know how much +2 Shadow Sneak from potentially Adamant Mimikyu can really do to my max HP Scizor, but I mean the spike probably helped. Maybe I just go down from the range I was at regardless of the spike. But now I'm going to Zeraora just to get some damage up on Mimikyu, just to see if Mimikyu can knock me out, and it does, because I like to see, you know, give it a shot if they can really pull it back with Mimikyu, because honestly I can just go into Metagross and click Bullet Punch. I'd live a +2 Shadow Sneak for sure. This is also a Assault Vest Metagross as well. It's pretty nice. But Zeraora does not knock out Mimikyu, but it did some good damage, and Metagross cleans it up with its adamant nature and almost max attack EVs on there. I mean, it doesn't matter because, you know, Mimikyu will drop to a Bullet Punch, probably if it was at max HP, but still. Pretty nice max HP Metagross as well with a little bit of special defense EVs and Assault Vest. So yeah, not bad, not bad. Also, the Zeraora's Expert Belt with 4 attacks. Oh yeah, I forgot. My Mega Altaria is special attack. It doesn't have return. It's max defense as well. And I think it's supposed to have Hyper Voice. But I took it out for Moonblast. I don't know why I put Moonblast. I guess because it's soundproof. but Kamo's gone, so you can put Hyper Voice again. I'll probably have it in the Pokebase Hyper Voice. So next up we got is going to be versus Ricky, and there's that Bisharp. That is terrifying. Bisharp is a monster, but hopefully I won't get swept by Bisharp. And this team also has a Minior as well, with Shell Smash and Substitute, which is pretty dope as well. Acrobatics, Earthquake, pretty nice coverage. It's like a Landorus T. Think of it like that. Flying AMZ, Earthquake, and OE. So lead off on Nidoqueen, they let off with Starmie. Not a good lead for me. I was really scared of them being like Scald. I didn't want to go into Metagross and get Scald burnt, so I wanted to go into Altaria first and see what they're going to do. Now, I don't know if they would Psychic when I have a Metagross around. I feel like Scald was the best play to go for it, but they have Hydro Pump, so that's good to know. So I just Mega Evolve just to see if they do have Ice Beam. Most likely they do because they were Life Orb, but I just wanted to see. Probably should have kept my Altaria though, because Altaria is really important with its max defense. It's pretty nice looking at their team, just taking hits from the Rotom as well. So probably should have just went to Metagross right there, honestly. That was kind of a misplay. But it's whatever. At least I knocked out Starmie because they missed a Hydro Pump. They probably thought I'd go into Metagross right there to try and preserve my Altaria to maybe try and roost up later, but nope. I just sacked it because I didn't feel like switching. I don't know, I just want to keep Metagross as healthy as possible. But in came Mega Beedrill, luckily no Fell Stinger. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much if I had Fell Stinger, because I can just bring in Minior and probably live anything. Maybe +2 knockoff will do a lot, maybe knock me out, but I also have Nidoqueen as well, and maybe I could take a +3 Drill Run, I don't know. Maybe Fell Stinger would be a big problem if that happened right there, but most Mega Beedrills don't really run that. Anyways, this Rotom Heat crits me, which is huge because my Nidoqueen would have lived another Overheat, but now it doesn't. So I'm pissed. What the hell? What kind of crit is this? Always crits that matter versus me, but hey, that's whatever. I get some Sludge Wave damage up on Rotom, which is, I guess, decent. Puts in range for maybe Zeraora to knock it out. In comes Sableye, which is an interesting pick in UU. Now, Mega Sableye is in OU, it's banned in UU, but UU Sableye, like regular Sableye, has Prankster ability, so it's not that bad, actually, when I look at it. Versus my team, it's actually really, really annoying as well, especially when it has Taunt, so I can't Shell Smash versus it. And luckily, it can't burn my Minior because of Shields Down. That's what Shields Down does. Unless you're below 50% of your HP, then you can get burnt because you can't get status when you're with your shields, but you can once the shields are down. So he does pack Foul Play as well, which kind of sucks because that means that Scizor, once I Swords Dance up, he can just KO me with Foul Play. So like this Sableye can literally just destroy my entire team. Like it's a counter team. Ricky brought a counter team, even though he probably didn't know my team, but still, that's hilarious. That Sableye can do this much work versus my team. I mean, Sableye is really good. I've used it a lot in PU. And back in the day, it used to be really, really good in higher tiers, but it just fell off. But he's bringing it back. I tried to Swords Dance up. Dude, I got a crit with that Bullet Punch as well, which is pretty nice. Putting in range for maybe, hopefully, a crit from like my Metagross, or maybe he misses Will-O-Wisp, but he actually switches out. He doesn't want to try and Will-O-Wisp me. Maybe he's scared of missing. Maybe he's scared of Metagross knocking him out. I don't know. He wanted to bring in Rotom. Rotom's a nice switch because it can take the Meteor Mash, and I do take the Overheat, so maybe you thought it'd be Bandit or something like that, but I am a Soul Vest, and we do take that Overheat. I think that is a Choice Specs Rotom as well. I don't know. Is it Choice Specs? I did a lot of damage. Maybe it's not Choice Specs. It did a lot of damage to Nidoqueen, but that was a crit, so yeah. I don't know. Regardless, he's not switching up his moves once I go into Minior. He kills Overheat against him. Maybe he is actually Scarf. Maybe he's actually Specs. Maybe he's Scarf, though. I don't know. But this gives me a chance to Shell Smash, which is awesome. Maybe, just maybe, he doesn't have Ice Shard on the Donphan, which is highly unlikely because most of the time Donphan has Ice Shard, especially in UU tier. There's a lot of dragons, and you want to hit those guys for priority. So I'm just praying that somehow, some way, like maybe he's not sturdy and I can one-shot him, but most Donphans, like 99% are sturdy, I'd say. I mean, what else would you run? So yeah, it's not looking too good. It all came down to that critical hit on Nidoqueen. I'm going to say that a million times. Kinda. I mean, matchup was kind of bad too. That Bisharp was staring me down the entire game, honestly. Bisharp is a menace. Also, I think Mew dropped down to UU as well. I need to try that out. I still haven't tried out Mew and UU. And I want to try it out. I need to get some Mew UU teams, because this is like a year-old team that I'm using, just laying it around in my box. I was like, yeah, let's try it out. Let's see how it works. So, Meteor does go down to the Ice Shard. Unfortunately, Donphan did have it. And yeah, it didn't even bring it down to 1 HP too once I Shell Smash. But that's to be expected since Donphan has really good defense. And Zero Aura can pick it off. But unfortunately, the Mega Beat Drill is going to be faster. And Drill Run that knocked me out. So that is going to be GG versus Ricky. So let's say if I didn't get critted with that Nidoqueen right there, what would happen was I would live. Maybe he would want to switch out into something. But the most important part is I get to keep my Nidoqueen, and maybe, just maybe, I get some damage up on something else, because I actually really needed Nidoqueen for that Sableye. And I really needed Altaria for that Sableye as well, so that was a really big misplay for sure. So, moral of the story is switch in Metagross on those special attackers like Starmie, even if you're scared of getting burns. So Altaria, looking at the matchup, it was actually really important for the Donphan. Like, yeah, you would take a little decent chip from Earthquake and Ice Shard, but it's max defense Altaria. And it would have been really good for the Sableye and the Rotom. And those guys destroyed me once I lost Altaria. So, yeah, lesson learned. But it was like one of the first times I was using this team, honestly. So next and last game we got today is versus Yllauziv. I wonder what that says. And yeah, looking like a really interesting team. Got Mega Aerodactyl, you got Crocodile, Aware, which is in the RE tier with Serena. Also, Metagross is in the RE tier as well. Minior is in NU, I'm pretty sure. And Nidoqueen is in RE. So we got a bunch of Pokemon that are like lower tiers, but that's pretty cool. He has 2 water types, which is kind of annoying, but hopefully Altaria can deal with them. I switched in Altaria a lot on the Starmies, which I'm always fearing Scald, but I should just probably bring in Metagross. It's just Metagross as a switch into water types kind of annoy me because of Scald, so I just really don't like bringing it in, but I know that's supposed to be switched into, like, you know, special attackers. It's just, yeah, like I said, Scald burns annoy me. So I let off a Scizor as they laid off with the Tentacruel, and Tentacruel's not a good lead for me when I lead off a Scizor. I can't do much with that because I don't want to get Scald burned, so I go on Altaria. But they just go for a T-Spike, which is interesting because I have Nidoqueen. You know, Nidoqueen does absorb T-Spikes because it's a grounded poison type, but okay. I mean, I just defog because I want to bring in Zero Aura safely on this Tentacruel so that it doesn't get poisoned and maximize my health. And Tentacruel just goes for another T-Spike, which is odd. I thought they'd go for like maybe an Ice Beam or something like that, or I don't know, Sludge Bomb, Scald again. You know, they didn't even go for Scald, but maybe try and get a burn. I thought they'd go for something like that. So I guess maybe they don't have it. Maybe they just want to get the T-Spikes up and try and poison everything before Nidoqueen just absorbs it, like right there. One for CC, just in case they switch down to something that I could do some good damage with CC, but I don't know, maybe Crocodile they'd switch into on my Zero Aura, but I guess they're not risking it. They go into Serena, which is a good play. Serena can take the CC pretty nicely. Switch to Nidoqueen, which is defensive, really, really defensive, so I could take the hits from Serena. I knew that it was probably going to be a defensive Serena, so if it was like banded, it would do a lot to my Nidoqueen. But since it's defensive, Nidoqueen can take it on, which is nice. And its drop kicks don't really matter, even if it lowers my attack. Nidoqueen is a special attacker, so it's pretty nice. And yeah, Sludge Wave does do a lot. I just went for a basic Sludge Wave. Now I went for an Ice Beam, but they went into Starmie right there. I was hoping that maybe they'd go into like Crocodile or Aerodactyl, predicting another Sludge Wave. So Starmie, bringing my Altaria, like the other game, but they went for Hydro Pump and missed. So once you see the Hydro Pump, you probably want to just bring in your Metagross, because Metagross doesn't really care too much about Hydro Pump. It cares mostly about Scald. If they have Scald, then if you get burnt, Metagross is pretty much like neutralized, I'd say, with that physical attack being halved. But they showed Hydro Pump, so I should have just waited in Metagross right there, because I take an Ice Beam and that's really bad. Altaria gets weakened a lot by Ice Beam, so now I go to Metagross, which is another good play, but the misplay was staying in versus the Starmie with Altaria. But I learned from these mistakes. Okay, I learned. Once you see that Hydro Pump, switching that Metagross. Just looking back at these games. So Starmie switched out. I didn't want to get, you know, hit by a Hydro Pump, so I went for Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch should knock out Starmie for range Rosette, but they switched out into Tentacruel, so I guess maybe they predicted the Bullet Punch. But I guess they predicted wrong over here. They thought maybe I'd switch out again, and they wanted to get a T-Spike up. But I have Earthquake, and Earthquake does do a lot to Tentacruel. But for some reason, they don't even go for Scald over here with Tentacruel. I don't know why. They just went for another T-Spike. Interesting. Maybe they just really want to Toxic my Zero Aura or Altaria. But like I said, I have Nidoqueen. Like, it literally absorbs it. That's why I don't really like getting T-spikes up when you have a grounded poison type already. Unless the grounded poison type is gone, get those T-spikes up, but once it's still around in the battle, they can just switch it in and absorb it. Like, it's not a good play, I'd say. So we're both kind of making like some bad plays, I'd say, but in came Starmie, which is interesting. I showed Bullet Punch as well, so maybe they just thought they would live it, but yeah, not that good of a play right there. I'm going to knock that out. In comes Crocodile, though, and Crocodile does threaten me out with Earthquake or Knockoff. It doesn't intimidate me, though, with Clear Body, so that's pretty nice. I don't get my attack lowered, but I still want to switch out into Scizor. Decided Scizor because, hey, Scizor can take it. Also, like Bandit or Life Orb. But most Crocodile are Choice Scarf for the tier, and I do take that pretty nicely, and I can just roost it off. Now, I could be subjected to a critical hit, which would suck, but hopefully that's not the case. And, I mean, if I do get critted, I mean, that's Pokemon. It happens. So I roosted up as Beware came out, and now I go for a Swords Dance as Beware went for a Swords Dance, and I'm just praying he does not knock me out over here with, I don't know, +2 superpower, something like that. But he went for Earthquake, which is amazing because I can live that, and on top of that, I get to go for my All-Out Pummel and blow this Beware back because at +2, All-Out Pummel will easily knock out Beware, even with Fluffy Nature, or Fluffy ability. Because Fluffy ability, I'm pretty sure, doubles your defense, just like Fur Coat. But Fluffy does have that weakness to fire, which kind of sucks. And also Fluffy, I'm pretty sure, or Fur Coat is weak to fire, maybe they're both, but Fluffy, I'm pretty sure it only doubles your defense with contact moves, not moves like Earthquake and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure. And I guess Z moves don't really contact, so that's why it does a lot of damage. But regardless, Crocodile came out, knocks me out. Scizor did some good damage with that Beware and got some good chip off on the Crocodile. Now I want to go into my Minior, go for a Shell Smash as they go for the Stone Edge. Does a lot of damage, but Minior is able to live it because Minior shields down ability. First, it has really good defense, and then once it shields down activates, it loses those really good defenses, but it gains really good attack and really good speed, which is awesome. And on top of that, with White Herb, we get to gain our defense lowered. Whenever we Shell Smash, our defense is lower. And with White Herb, you get to recover those defenses, so it's back to neutral, and then we get to keep the attack stat and the speed that we have with Shell Smash. And the special attack. But Minior doesn't really need that, since we're a physical attacking one. Unfortunately, though, we don't have a rock move on this. We have Substitute, so Mega Aerodactyl is able to take the acrobatics that we have on here. Now, Substitute isn't a bad move. Now, you could replace it for a rock move, that's for sure, but Substitute, not that bad, honestly. Like, you can go either or. Like, honestly, it's not that bad, I'd say. Really, you'd probably want the rock move just for the Aerodactyl. But if you get up rocks, put rocks on like Nidoqueen or something, or maybe use a different Ramon instead of Nidoqueen, it should be good to go. But right there, I bring the Metagross, I Bullet Punch, knock out the arrow, last Mon Serena, and they just forfeit because Serena can't beat my Metagross. I guess all they have is like Drop Kick. They don't have Knockoff, which Knockoff would have helped them out in this battle because they could have knocked off my Nidoqueen's Black Sludge. Knocking off that Black Sludge means that Nidoqueen would probably lose its longevity. That's why Bisharp really scary, because once it knocks off Nidoqueen is looking like it's going to go down sooner or later longer in the game. So yeah, that's going to be it for the Wi-Fi battles today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably use this team again because I really want to show off Minior more. Maybe I'll use a different team of Minior. But this is still a fun team. Really interesting team as well. I thought it was really cool. And yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do a thing. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the description down below. And join my Discord, which is in the description down below. That's where I get most of my Wi-Fi battles, and you can Wi-Fi battle people there as well. So, peace, everybody. Love you.